Dragon Ball Daima Episode 3 is out, and while this episode has opened up a whole new world and a range of possibilities, on the other hand, it introduced a question that could overturn everything we knew about a certain concept, even one revealed in official guides. So, is Dragon Ball Daima actually enriching Dragon Ball's lore, or is it throwing everything we knew in the trash? Or could it be doing both? In this video, I'll break down what happened in this episode and have a little chat with you all about it. Stay connected to the channel and let's get into the video. The episode begins with Glorio's ship leaving Earth and Goku being impressed with its speed, while Shin explains that this type of ship is faster because it uses magic. Shin addresses Glorio, asking if they're going to meet someone called Warp-sama, whom we later find out is that giant fish we saw in the first episode. According to Shin, this fish is a portal between the outside world and the demon realm, and apparently there are several of these portals. They head toward one near a planet called Batapi, located in a place called the Raka system. Shin again brings up why Glorio came after Goku, and Glorio confirms he was sent by the king of the third demon world, who wants Goku to defeat Goma. Goku asks if Goma is strong. Glorio says he's cunning and has incredible magical powers, but with Goku having defeated Majin Buu, Goma won't be a problem for him. Goku is quite confident about all this, but Shin still has some doubts. Before I keep going, please give the video a quick like, it really helps us out, okay? And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much to everyone who does that. You're awesome, but let's keep going. After a while traveling, they arrive near the planet Batapi, where they encounter a warp. Goku is very impressed when he sees that the warp is a giant fish, but the warp gets really mad at Goku for calling him that. Glorio says they want to pass and that they're from the demon realm. The warp asks to see the ears of the other two with him, meaning Shin and Goku. After looking at Shin's ears, he confirms he's from the demon realm and asks to see Goku's. Shin then uses his magic to make Goku's ears pointed as well. After this, the warp asks for a password, which is new to Shin. Glorio explains that to use the warp now, you need to register and then receive a password. Glorio gives the password, and the warp lets them pass. But Shin isn't able to inform Kibito about the password, which means there's going to be trouble when the others try to get in there. Glorio's ship is sent to that white dimension, and there Glorio explains that this place is a passageway. In this passageway, he highlights 3 hatches, one pink, one blue, and one yellow, each representing a demon world. He says the first one, the pink one, can only be accessed by people from the first demon realm. They will enter through the third one, which is the yellow. Shin says that if they enter through the yellow one, they'll be farther from the first demon world, which is where Goma is, that is, through the pink hatch. Shin asks why they don't enter through the second hatch, the blue one. But Glorio says he's only authorized to enter the third demon world. That smaller fish appears and opens the door to the third demon world for them. And here comes something kind of funny, guys. When someone leaves the demon world, the warp swallows the ship, but when someone returns, he shits it out. Goku was literally shit straight into the demon realm. There's no better way to arrive somewhere, right? But when they see the first location, which was the one we saw in the trailers and in the preview at the end of the last episode, Goku is very impressed with the beauty of the place. Even Shin seems to find the place very beautiful, suggesting that either he didn't know that part or the demon realm has changed since he left it. Looking at a large magical symbol in a pit in the ground, Goku asks what that is. Shin explains that it's a type of underground trail called the Demon Realm Tunnel. Apparently, this tunnel connects one realm to another, and access was free when Shin was a child. But now they've put this light shield over the tunnel, blocking passage. That's why they now need to use the warp to travel between the demon worlds. But Glorio adds that the only ones who can use the warp are those who live in the first world and select members of the second world. Shin asks why Glorio can use it since he seems to be from the third world. Glorio seems a bit hesitant to answer, but he loves this and that. Goku changes the subject when he sees a statue of Dabura and comments on it. Then, he comments that the sky looks a bit different. Goku says he expected the demon realm to be scarier, but it actually isn't that different from Earth. Shin says that, while it may not seem so at first, it is actually quite different from Earth. He explains that the ecosystem is different, and Goku will see animals and plants there that he's never seen before. Another difference is that in the third world, there are many floating pieces of land. Goku asks to go down a bit, and Glorio lands the ship. When he steps out, Goku starts noticing that the air feels different. Besides being stinky, it's heavy, which makes it harder for him to move. Glorio explains it's because there's a gas covering this area that makes the air heavy, but it's not a toxic gas, and now he'll die instantly. This sea of darkness seems to be a huge abyss, only filled with some dark clouds or a type of gas. But there's another danger there besides the sea of darkness, as Goku and the others are being watched by some guys who don't seem very friendly. Goku ends move in slow motion. The enemies shoot more arrows and also throw spears until Glorio decides to fight back, dodging some of the weapons and drawing his pistol to fire some explosive shots at them. The shots from Glorio's weapon create small explosions when they hit the rocks, scaring off the attackers and driving them away. Glorio then sees that they're just bandits and seems to relax a bit, while Goku comments that the place is pretty dangerous. They then decide to leave the area. While they're flying again, Shin asks where they're going now. Glorio says they're staying at a hotel tonight, and tomorrow they'll meet with King Kadan, who appears to be the name of the king of the third demon world. They see some floating volcanoes along the way, and Glorio explains that the gas expelled by these volcanoes is what makes the air in that region so heavy. They then arrive at a type of town located in the middle of the region, and there's quite a rough-looking people there. When they get to the inn, the clerk tries to act smart by overcharging for the room. Goku asks for something to eat, so they go to a bar nearby, which is the same place we saw in the anime trailers. When they enter the bar, the crowd, who had been chatting normally, suddenly gets tense and starts staring at them. Shortly after Goku eats a hamburger made of some suspicious meat, one of the guys at the bar approaches them, asking where Goku is from, since by his ears, he's not from around there. Glorio tells him to buzz off, but he gets cocky with him too. It doesn't take long for the other guys to start gathering, wanting to fight, but Glorio quickly beats them up, Ki-chan style. So Goku combines the useful with the pleasant. He practices fighting in this new environment, trains his spatial awareness, which is affected by his shorter body, fills his belly, and gets to beat up some punks. After that, they go to sleep. The next day, when they're leaving town, they realize Glorio's ship has been stolen. The thief left a note hanging on the handle of an axe, which looks very similar to the one of the guys at the bar used against Goku. But is it the same axe? Well, we'll find out in the next episode, because that's how episode 3 of Dragon Ball Daima ends. Now for some general comments about the episode. The episode was fun, with that light and entertaining vibe, like the previous 2 episodes. In the last episode, I guessed that we'd finally see a fight in this one, and we did get a fight. I imagined that Goku's first fight in the demon world would be something more comedy focused, showing the power gap between Goku and the locals, even as a child. Overall, it was an amusing fight, nothing too extraordinary. We also got a few more mysteries involving Glorio, like what his actual role is in the first realm. Another mystery about Glorio is his weapon, which seems to be no ordinary gun. With this weapon, he quickly scared off the bandits who attacked them and also intimidated the hotel clerk. I also noticed that Glorio seems to be quite compassionate, since when he shot at the bandits who attacked them, he clearly fired just to scare them off without intending to actually hurt anyone. And at the bar, he also fought without delivering fatal blows, even though those guys were being jerks. But one of the things that intrigued me the most was Shin, who was said to belong to a race called Glind, which comes from the second demon world and seems to be a somewhat noble race. What intrigues me about this is that, according to the official Dragon Ball guides, the Supreme Kais are from a race called Shinjin, who are born from a sacred tree called Kaiju. Sure, this information was already contradictory since it was revealed that Shin came from the demon realm, but now the inconsistency is even greater. It seems to me that either they're going to change the origin of the Supreme Kais, or Shin is going to be some sort of exception. Let's see what happens. Also, of course, there's the matter of Glorio's ship being stolen, which will likely be resolved in the next episode, probably with that little girl making an appearance. And finally, it's worth mentioning that this episode, which begins the exploration of the demon realm, brought us some very creative details about this world, like the heavy air, the floating volcanoes, and everything else. This episode placed a lot of emphasis on the environment, and this will surely be important in upcoming episodes, which is great. Overall, it was a fun and enjoyable episode that introduced more elements to the plot and a very creative new world. Of course, this still isn't the kind of story Dragon Ball fans are used to, with super intense fights, a super serious plot, and so on, but it's still enjoyable. Also, the anime is just getting started, so a lot can still happen, and we might see more serious battles in the future. Now, I'd like you all to comment on what you thought of this episode of Dragon Ball Daima. Did you like it or not? Also, tell me what you'd most like to see in the upcoming episodes of the anime and what's disappointing or pleasing you. As for me, what I'm enjoying the most is the creativity involved in this new world. And what's missing, in my opinion, is for us to have at least one more serious fight, showing a battle that actually presents some danger and challenges Goku or another character. Give the video a like if you haven't yet, as it really helps us out. If you're enjoying Dragon Ball Daima, subscribe to the channel because every week we'll be posting analyses of the story as well as theories and information for you all. And even if you're not into Dragon Ball Daima, but you're a Dragon Ball fan, subscribe anyway because we'll keep the content coming. If you know someone else who's as passionate about Dragon Ball as we are, share this video with them to help more people discover our work. Big hugs to everyone who stayed with me until the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care!